Hey, we're back with Jeff Haxton, Jamie Lent. Remember, we talked about some of you have had a problem knowing the difference between a play-by-play guy and a color commentator. We hear that a lot. Like, hey, I love Tony Romo as a play-by-play. I love Stephen A. Smith as a play-by-play guy. So in this situation, he's play-by-play. He's the color. If they're hosts, be like 1 and a 2, right?
Right.
So we talked about those things. So Jeff, what are some of the things you do to get prepared for a broadcast?
The thing that I like to do the most is talk to as many people as I possibly can. You can pick up so much from a 2-minute conversation with a player that will give you something that we just don't know that it's going on, right? Talk to Joe Hughes, the director of ops. Talk to the coaches in the elevator. The whole week, I'm kind of gathering information about things that we don't necessarily get a chance to see. And I think that's important because those little nuggets that you can drop in broadcasts are, to me, really important. And Jamie and I have, I think, an interesting thing, and I want to see if he'll back me up on this, because Jamie is so thorough in his research. But I also know that little crease of what Jamie doesn't get as far as the preparation, and I try to provide that. This guy's going to have like 95% of the details with the work that he does as far as research goes. I'm trying to over here put on a show, basically, trying to be the entertainer and informer.
Right.
And I've got my set of information, like for instance in the Big 12 season, he's got all the numbers, man, and all the numbers that make a broadcast round out. And I'll give Big 12 numbers. And he knows that I'm going to be focused on the Big 12 numbers, and he's got all the other ones. So I think that makes us a great team because he's got all that work that he's done and all that information, and I know where to kind of fill in the gaps. And then I think it's important to relate to the audience via social media, and he's going to give you all the analysis. I just think it rounds us out the way we do things. I don't know what he thinks, but that's what I think.
Well, we'll see if he backs him up. And we talked a little bit about Doc Emmerich, who's an NHL announcer, and he likes to do the color pens. You see here, Jamie is very similar, and he's got the different color pens as he does his scorebook. What are the different colors for me? And we did learn how to score in this class, so they all know.
Okay, awesome.
Like, if you asked them a question about like what 6-4-3 meant, they would know.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Well, my colors correspond to the pitcher in the game. So I can look back and I can see if Caleb Killian's in red, that means over here against Arkansas, that was him throughout the course of the game. I can look and when Dane Havman came into the game, I know that was him pitching when the guy is in blue. Okay, so
when the pitcher changes, you change pens.
I change pens, that's right. And it looks like Easter broke out in my my scorebook.
But that's really brilliant. That's next level stuff right there, because when I come in here, I've got all just one color, and I'll write Havman across.
That's what I do too.
Okay, but this is really next level stuff here.
I think I'm going to change next year. I think I keep track of that.
Plus, you get all these fun little pens. I mean, you get to carry around. So,
So do you back up what he said about?
No, I would tell you that play-by-play, just like hosting a show together, it's a marriage, and a lot of times opposites attract. And I think Jeff and I are very different in the way we do things, and that's why it works well together. My job as the color analyst is to be just kind of fill in the cracks for what Jeff doesn't provide, and he does a great job with the excitement and the energy and all that kind of stuff. And Jeff has jokingly called me Stats McGee. I'm more of a stats guy, okay? So I'll do the analysis, but yeah, like you said, I'm a numbers guy. So and then I provide that part of it. And if we were both doing the same thing, it wouldn't work.
Right.
And so
Be redundant.
Yeah, we do a good job, I think, of doing the opposite, which works well together. And so I think if you have the same kind of person doing a broadcast together, it's not going to be as good. So I back up 100% what Jeff is saying, is that you got to find ways to be different than each other, and that's why it works for us.
So the great thing is you guys have verified a couple things I've told the class. One, you talked about your relationships, right? And people trusting you, they know they might tell you something that you shouldn't use on the broadcast, but you know about it, right? Because you developed trust with the team.
Well, and you know what to use and what not to use. If somebody has, popped a hamstring and it's questionable that they might play, a coach or a player could tell you, yeah, he's not going to play today, but you never are going to take that to Twitter, or really even sometimes you can't. This is such a big deal. You can't tell people that are close to you at times.
Right.
you shut that off. If you get that kind of information, you don't let it leak out, because if it gets traced back to you, you're going to lose that trust. So there are things that you can go public with, and there are things that you just keep in the vault, so to speak.
And Jamie, you brought up another point that I've talked about is you guys are very different, and so I always try to point out every person in this business is different, right? They're all got different personalities. So there's no one personality that makes you good at your job. But even though Jeff said you're the one that's prepared, Jeff's also prepared.
Right, and just in a different way.
Right. So preparation is always the key.
Absolutely. You got to know your subject. You got to know it well, and the preparation is a huge part of that, because what you want to portray on the air is that you know everything, and it's all flying out of your mouth. It's all up here in your head. You know it all. But the truth of the matter is, it's written here in front of you. It's on the board on the side of you, and that's where the preparation comes from.
And a lot of that, Gio, also comes from trust. Like, I trust the heck out of him to know that he's going to have things that maybe I don't. And it also depends on the sport. If you look at my basketball preparation, it looks like I've written a novel for each one of these boards, and it's got the rankings and all those things. Basketball moves so fast that I need to be able to know exactly where I have Jarrett Culver ranked in the Big 12 in free throw percentage, or in the country in free throw percentage. With him over there, I know that he's got that, and if it's something that I need to, and I haven't even really started here yet, and if it's something that I need to, baseball's pace allows me to know exactly where to look. I don't necessarily have to have everything written down. In football and basketball, I've got to have everything written down.
It's interesting. I've sat in once or twice to watch you guys, but I've sat in basketball with you level, and you guys have developed kind of a pace. But you'll point at him sometimes when you want him to speak or talk about, and that comes with it too, like where you're kind of directing the show.
Absolutely, yeah. With that, there are times where I need him to talk more, and there's times where I need him to shut up too. I mean, that doesn't happen over here unless, like last time, I freaked Jamie out in the middle of a call and totally derail him like I did. That was a good part about it. When I did that, nobody knew the difference. But I learned something, and we've done over 100 baseball games together. I think you learn something every time you get together.
I think one of the things that I think about when you talk about working together and making it work, we all know Jeff loves to yell adios muchacho after every Red Raider home run. Is Jeff is doing that, and we're watching the ball sail out of the ballpark, I'm looking down in the stats to immediately know, okay, that's home run number 14 for Josh Young. And to get the sponsors plug in there, it's First Bank and Trust home run number 14. Okay, so Jeff's watching the play, he's calling the play, and my job is to give the stats. How many is that? How many RBI?
Speaking of home runs,
Let's had a home run out there. There's adios muchacho for Mississippi State. So, it's a good time to stop.